On this week's World of Saltwater Fishing, the Mark 6 is off marathon in the Florida Keys. I'll be with Jason Long and catching blackfin tuna.
There you go. Marathon blackfin tuna, huh?
King mackerel.
That was like a big king.
One of the best gaff, but you know what?
He's in the boat.
Mutton snapper.
Woo-hoo! Kid, look at the size of this mutton here.
And sailfish.
There's your sail.
And it's fun catching them on light tackle.
I know it.
You won't want to miss this exciting episode.
George Pulveromore's World of Saltwater Fishing. Big fish don't stand a chance.
Marathon in the Florida Keys. It is a very fishy place. You have a nucleus of top-notch captains here that really know their game. And I know, I fished with several of them, and rarely have I had an off trip down here. It's that good. This time, I took the Mark 6 down to Marathon to fish with Captain Jason Long, who runs Best Bet Sport Fishing Charters. Now, Jason is one of those true native marathon fishing pros. He grew up in these local waters.
My history in the marathon area, I was born in 1976 at Fisherman's Hospital. Very apropos, so to speak, being that I'm now a fisherman, you know. I mean, I love to fish. I love to be able to do a lot of different things, and that's what fishing a marathon's all about.
Met up with Captain Jason Long behind the Hyatt Place, the Ferro Blanco Marina.
And we're discussing what we're gonna do, and it was flat, calm, beautiful day. So I said, you know, let's just sneak right outside the reef, go on top of some wrecks, we'll see if we can live chum some tunas, hopefully sailfish, you know, obviously kingfish, wahoo, mahi.
It was like zero wind, slick calm, and once I throttled up the Mark 6 and started heading towards the 7-mile bridge to gain ocean access, just the stillness of the water was incredible. And then once you sort of turn left and you go underneath the 7-mile bridge and you're looking at the wide open ocean, that special feeling that gets you just all pumped up. And when you look out at the horizon, and it's so slick and so calm, where it looks like the sky is actually meeting the water and you have a problem seeing where the horizon is, that tells you it's gonna be that kind of a picture-perfect day.
So first off, you know, we hit that first wreck.
And you just see this thing come up on the big Simrad machine, and you see not only the bottom structure there, but the life that was around it. You looked at that and said, there's no way in the world that we can't catch fish on this. Look at this thing.
Oh, nice blackfins. Look at them busting right next to the boat here.
Come on over there.
We started chumming, and blackfin started popping. I mean, you know, immediately you grab a line, you want to fire them out, hook up. We got several bites right off the get-go.
A lot of marks in the machine. Let me see. Let me guess what this might be.
I'm trying to get down there and join you. Let me know if you need a hand.
I'm all right for now. See where this guy's going to decide to take me. And I'm on the wire leader too. Take him back over this way. Good old trusty angle cooler. I'm gonna walk around the bow. I'm gonna walk around the bow and come around here. This fish thinks he's outsmarting me, which is easy to do, but the game gets a little more interesting. We have a blackfin tuna. Now your nerves get a little bit up there too. Is that fish hooked good? Because after all, blackfin tuna sushi or on the grill is just totally incredible. These light tackle fights are so fun. And then you meet a fish like this, then you often wonder, man, if I only had like 10 more pounds of line on this, just a tad stiffer rod. It's all enjoyable.
It's a nice little.
I told you, he's got some shoulders on the thing. Okay, buddy.
That's a great fish.
It is a great fish. I had to fight him. I knew it was a good fish.
And we're clear.
There you go. Marathon blackfin tuna, huh?
Absolutely, beautiful.
In your home
fish.
waters.
Now we came on top of these wrecks. That's what we were targeting first thing this morning. switched over to try to catch some kingfish, and naturally we catch our blackfin tuna.
Really? And yeah, right when I put a wire leader on too, I switch over. Look at that.
That's a beautiful
This goes to
fish.
show you, if they're hungry, they're gonna eat.
Absolutely. That's upper teens. It's a great fish.
You wanna unhook that. That's circle out of there. I'll let this fish go.
Perfect.
Teasing him. Other than this, he's coming home for dinner.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to see how you reacted under pressure with that question. In front of all
Wasn't
the
a question.
television audience. This is what he determines, is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing, proudly brought to you by Mako. You'll find them where the fish are. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Simrad and the revolutionary new Halo radar. Go with Simrad and go with confidence.
The ocean is as flat as it gets, and the fish are chewing. I'm off Marathon in the Florida Keys with Jason Long.
So we circle back on the wreck. We figured let's try that same thing again. Let's duplicate it. He's live chumming. And I have one bait out there just being free lined out into the live chum.
And they kept busting. We kept casting, and we couldn't get another bite. Watch right there. Straight at the boat.
All right.
Well, how I didn't get a bite.
All of a sudden, the blackfins, they disappeared. We found ourselves getting ready to change gears on top of the very first wreck, the very first thing in the morning.
George rigged up for me a titanium leader. We tied it on as just a short little stretch and dropped it down, the live pilchard. Didn't even make it to the bottom. It started swimming up. I locked it up, started winding fast, and we hooked up with a nice kingfish.
Should I have a gaff ready?
Why not? I have one of those big kings.
I'm standing by. So you hit the bottom, and how many turns up do you think were before that hit?
Actually, this time I didn't make it to the bottom.
Oh, okay, on the way down.
On the way down.
Switch over that titanium there, huh? That
Did the
sure
trick.
didn't scare anything off. Let's see what we have here.
That was like a big king.
Yes, it does. So if you want to step to the right, I'll try to get him over here. Unless you got to come back, and I'll let you come to the back. Take your time, enjoy it. I know all the time you're usually behind the wheel putting your clients on the fish. Give you what they call us a busman's holiday, you know?
That's right.
Not yet titanium, so we'll take our shot here whenever I can get it.
All right.
Come up the next pass, I'll get him. Come up a little tighter on me here. On the best gaff, but you know what?
He's in the boat.
And he's gonna go to the smokehouse here.
Yeah, he is.
And I saw that fish come in, I took my shot, brought the kingfish in the boat, had a beautiful Marathon Florida Keys kingfish, went right on the ice, and in short order after that day of fishing, it went right to the smokehouse. Choppers. You know, everyone who fishes me, I always ask them what their shoe size is. What's yours?
12.
The perfect size to walk over and open up that fish box for me.
I'm hooked up.
You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go on me too. Gonna have you have all the fun. What do you have?
Give a bottom fish.
Oh, and I just pulled mine. I lost mine. It's up to you now. Went to move that rod and I gave it some slack. What are you looking like?
Looks like I got another kingfish.
All right. Decent sized king. And New Orleans had a big one in a box, so I reached down there and tailed it and brought it in. And we took the hook out and shot that thing back down in the water and sent it on its way. And there you have it. There's your hook right there. If we work at it, we could probably get that hook out. If somebody didn't have, say, variety fishing on their mind, you could keep the rod bending as much as you wanted until those fish either quieted down or they moved on, because we were having a tough time as it was trying to get beyond them. It was that kind of a bite off Marathon, Florida with kingfish. All right, you're getting it dialed in. That's the zone. Let's move back on that wreck like you said. Get up, turn her on it, and
Try it again.
Magic. Let's go.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing, proudly brought to you by ACR, the leader in marine safety electronics. Rapala, your best shot at a world record. The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Papas Pilar, a rum inspired by possibly the world's greatest adventurer.
So if you're coming to the Marathon area with your family, friends, coming for a week, a lot of people come for a week stay. several things you can do if you're not out in the water with me or one of my close associates in the fishing industry. You start off with the Dolphin Research Center. Away they have obviously dolphin, I believe there's sea lions and the whole 9 yards. Further than that's up in Grassy Key, you come down a little further south and you can hit.
The Turtle Hospital, what a big institution. I can't tell you how many times I've actually visited this place. And where the Turtle Hospital really goes over and above is their care for the turtles. They'll take in any injured turtles that might have been run over by a boat or are sick or whatever. They'll take them in and they'll nurse these turtles back to health. Just a really good-natured group here. My favorite to date attraction down here that I've been to now 3 different occasions is the Florida Keys Aquarium Encounters in Marathon. It's an unbelievably different experience in terms of aquariums. And in addition to the tanks, you could pet stingrays, you could feed tarpon, there's barracuda in there. Just a great way to spend a good 3 or so hours. Put it on your list, the Florida Keys Aquarium Encounters, definitely an A+ exhibit.
Growing up in Marathon, Ferro Blanco was the place you came as a kid because there was a public pool. The lighthouse is always something that you've known as part of Marathon and Ferro Blanco.
This is about the 2nd time that I've actually stayed at the Hyatt Place in Marathon and Florida Keys. This was built upon the old Ferro Blanco property. The Hyatt basically took this property that was defunct for a number of years and just built it up into something special. A magnificent marina, a number of just slips for large boats, basically boats of all sizes can get in here. To complement the marina is you have the Hyatt Place itself, an extremely well-appointed facility, very comfortable. So the Hyatt Place, great place to stay, great marina. It is without a doubt a place that I will be returning to with the Mark 6 next year. What you got?
I believe I've got a mutton snapper.
I thought a rod double. Now was that right off the bottom? Or
Right on the bottom.
Nice size fish at that. That's giving you a good
He
workout.
does not want to come off that bottom.
I'll stand on by for you. So when you're drifting like Rex, what we're doing, you know, what's the best approach? A multi-tiered? I mean, you put bait surface, middle,
Absolutely.
water, down bottom. You just what? Give me some of the secrets that were very successful for you.
Well, first off, again, we start off with the live bait. Lots of live bait, chum the surface, put your surface rods out. We saw the sailfish up already feeding this morning. We've had the tunas, the kings, and those tunas can be anywhere mid-water to surface, so keep one bait there mid-water. Maybe if we're in 180 feet, say 100 feet down. And then also fish the bottom for your mutton snappers and groupers.
And if you get, I mean, current's essential, but if you get it like a little bit on the moderate side, it enables you to get down without a ton of weight. That's all the better, isn't it?
Absolutely. A nice steady drift. This morning we've got a nice slow drift.
Yeah.
We can fish the bottom. We've had the kings, like I said. All right, we've got
I'm seeing some color. Okay, slide over here. Let me take that sinker off here for you. Hang on. Okay, you're clean. What do we have here?
mutton snapper, just like we talked about.
All right. Slide them over, buddy. That's a huge mutton snapper. Give me some room here. The net was extended outward. I said, no, don't do that. Not in a fish like this.
That's what we're looking for.
You're not kidding. Look at the size of this mutton here.
Probably 17 pounds.
Oh, I just had a blowout.
He just lost 3 pounds.
Oh, here's one for you. You know, traditionally here, the big muttons are always like springtime. Then you get a second push of fish in the fall, which are mostly smaller fish. Now here we are beginning of December. Look at the size of this brood.
Oh, and I tell you, if you catch them this time of the year, from 25 feet on the patch reefs out here to the wrecks.
The same size of a fish.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, when I saw you struggling, and I'm watching that rod, and I'm watching that line dig out, and when I saw you having a hard time, I said, it's a good fish on the other end. And I might look purple because I was holding my breath that this hook stayed in the whole way up. I think you were turning purple too.
Well, yeah, because I was fighting him. Plus, you're trying to talk to me the whole time. I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape.
We're trying to show you what the social kind of guy you really are.
Oh, that's me, absolutely. That's a beautiful fish, though.
And perfect too.
That was
Look
a lot of fun. And sure enough, got him up. You know, I had a real light 30-pound fluorocarbon leader with a small circle hook. that beautiful mutton snapper popped up, and I think it scaled out at 16 pounds. And truly one of the most highly sought after snapper species that you can target here in Marathon.
And if you had to give one tip on fishing mutton snappers on wrecks regarding terminal gear, whether it's hook, leader length size, what would be the most critical tip that you could pass along?
A long leader, well over 20 to 30 feet.
Yeah.
And what that does is allow, especially if you're using a live bait, from your lead to your leader and your hook, that bait can swim around. He's not really, just sitting down there struggling a little bit, and that fish being, mutton snappers are very difficult fish and to catch, and the spear fishermen especially is one of their main targets because it's so difficult, and they're smart. So you've got to give them plenty of stretch. I mean, we're using a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader with a small circle hook and live pilchard, and there's our result.
I love it, love it.
George's Tackle Locker.
Complementing the line of Engel's marine coolers, which retain the cold much longer and require less re-icing, Engel has introduced their hard shell freezer packs. They are designed to freeze at specific temperatures and maintain chilled or frozen conditions for days. In short, they're ideal for use in conjunction with their coolers. The Engel 32 freezes at 32 degrees and is for keeping items cold and dry, whereas the Engel 20 freezes at 20 degrees and is designed for keeping items in the frozen state much longer. There's a medium size and a large size for each model, a 2-pound and 5-pound pack respectively. Add these to your large ice-down coolers, whether it's for food or baits, and you will have just supercharged the lifespan of the cold or freezing in those coolers.
Mercury Performance Stats, Florida Keys. Power, triple 350 horsepower Mercury Verado outboards. Total miles traveled, 63. Speed, 41 miles per hour. Total fuel burned, 52.5 gallons. George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing, proudly brought to you by Suffix. Always use the best line. Penn, let the battle begin. Starbright, professional grade boat care products. King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
When you're hot, you're hot. After scoring a big mutton snapper, Jason Long hooks the Sailfish on the lightest spin outfit aboard the boat. The action is taking place off Marathon in the Florida Keys.
We're getting eaten.
Good. I'm gonna start chasing him. Come around here, buddy. There's your sail. Go to the bow.
All right, he's coming at us.
All right, come around the bow. Come around.
Coming up. Coming up again.
How you looking, my friend?
Ah, nice and easy. It is fun catching them on light tackle.
I know it.
You just ease right up to him if you like.
Yes, sir. You gaining pretty good?
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna ease on up.
All right, we're straight down here, right in front of the boat. There's the leader on him. There he is, right underneath the boat. We got the release on him.
You got the leader? Fantastic.
There he goes, all right. We fought that fish, around the boat, around the area, just chasing him around, had to lighten the drag up. He put on a great show. I couldn't count the jumps because it was nonstop. We got up on him, with the boat, got the leader release. He was 3-4 feet under the surface right there at the boat, then he took off again.
Right up and down?
Straight up and down.
Telling you what a master. Sitting here watching you, that light outfit, 30-pound fluorocarbon leader.
It's a lot of fun. But you get so much more out of the fish when you catch them on that light tackle too.
Give me an idea how far off or down he is.
I'd say 25, 30 feet down, making his way to the surface.
Something weird's going on. Keep an eye, he's coming up.
I'm thinking he might have got tail wrapped on that jump. Just want to take a picture, that's all we want. Just give us a little photo op, buddy. 15 feet.
Okay, is he up near, got him coming to the surface?
Then at one point during one of the tail walks or one of the jumps, the fish had apparently become tail wrapped.
Once the fish gets tail wrapped, especially on 30-pound leader, there's a pretty good chance he's going to chafe through it. And eventually that did happen, but it didn't change the fact that 1, we got the release on the fish, 2, we had him right next to the boat, and 3, because he was on such light tackle, he put on a phenomenal show, and that's the greatest thing about Sailfish.
All right, we just shaped that fish off, you know.
Congratulations.
Hey,
Got that on that leader early in the game, and
well, you know, if it was a tournament, it'd be perfect.
we came to Marathon with the goal of catching several key species of fish, with sailfish being our highlight, and we had just done that.
Well, you know, you have a game plan, and that's the great thing about fishing here in Marathon. You come out with one thing in mind, but you're always prepared for several different types of fishing. Never leave the dock with just plan A. And especially this time of the year, being December, your pelagic species are all moved in tight right off the edge of the reef.
Just a very active day, even though we had to work for it. At that point, we looked at ourselves, turned the Mark 6 around, headed to the barn, back to the Hyatt. We had a big mutton to clean, a boat to clean, and then I could tell you the next time I come back to Marathon, I'm gonna hook up with him again, and we talk about some other plans, and we're gonna make that happen. A great guy, Jason Long, fun trip with him aboard the Mark 6 off Marathon in the Florida Keys.
For more detailed information on saltwater fishing, including how-to videos and features, visit my website, georgepoveromo.com. Also, to keep on top of my fishing excursions, visit me at Facebook. That's facebook.com/George.Poveromo. And I'm also on Instagram at George Poveromo. We'll see you there.